on deliberations and adoption of the draft terms of reference for the ad hoc committee to investigate Mkhwanazi's allegations. Let's now bring in our analyst, Andy Mashaile, who is a security strategist, to tell us more about his take on what is now taking place within Parliament. Andy, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. Let's start off here. I mean, we now know that there is that terms of reference which has since now been adopted. You know, when it comes to where we find ourselves now that we do have a terms of reference, what do you make of this process?
Mbali, the process is exciting for all those who are following the parliamentary part leg of this inquiry. However, Mbali, looking at the juxtapositioning of the two inquiries, that is the parliamentary parliamentary ad hoc committee for the investigations, as well as the Madlanga commission, one is left with a sense of confusion, if not a sense of angst, that would say what happens given the constitutional and political implications. What is the nature of the implications and the impact of those implications on the outcomes of both processes, as well as the process of justice and fairness to all those who are involved.
Andy, and I mean, you make a very valid point and a very important point. We do know that there are parallel processes currently. There is the ad hoc committee, and at the same time, we also know that there is that commission of inquiry by Justice Madlanga. When it comes to the outcomes of these processes, what does this mean for the country, and how will this impact what needs to be taken, the action that will need to be taken after these two processes have concluded its work?
Mbali, one process is for accountability, political accountability of the department and the minister, which is the parliamentary processes. The other process is a judicial process that looks at establishing facts, evidence-based processes, and the challenge in that in the outcomes, Mbali, would be from a process point of view, witness fatigue. One witness being called today or that other day to sit in on the ad hoc committee inquiry and be expected in the next day or 2 days to give testimony at the Madlanga Commission. We stand to see some serious challenges should the process not be properly managed. And what are those challenges, Mbali? One would contradict, one would say this at the ad hoc committee in the parliament, and one would find himself saying that at the Madlanga commission, raising the issue of self-contradiction and many other things, and also one forum using the testimony generated from the other forum for its processes. It might lead to some serious challenges, and the outcomes might leave a bitter taste in the mouth of the justice process or the parliamentary processes. So we would need to find a common ground that is aimed at ensuring that the outcomes do not create chaos, a chaos of integrity and legitimacy in both processes.
When it comes to the issues around where we find ourselves now with these two parallel processes taking place, one would say when it comes to, you know, the necessary answers that South Africans are looking for, do you think that now that we will be able to trust the processes which are underway to get to the bottom of what is really taking place in the country?
Mbali, I want to answer your question by saying, if you were to say to me, Andy, give me advice. I'm looking at the two processes. I would say to you, Mbali, first allow the judicial process to kickstart. Then, from the findings of the commission, I would then be able to say to you, Mbali, the findings are A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, this is the process or the steps that you need to take, given what has already been given legal weight as the judicial commission is to be looked at. So long story short, Mbali, the processes would need to make sure that those who are driving it or are driving them both create a sense of legitimacy in both processes as they are juxtaposed to each other.
And we now know when it comes to the processes that will be followed in Parliament, the General Mkhwanazi will be the first witness that will be called to come and testify. Do you think that this is the right place to start, because he was essentially the first person who brought this to light in the country?
From an accountability process, Parliament is the boss of both Mkhwanazi, the National Commissioner and the Minister from an accountability point of view. This would be the right platform for the General, as the General has indicated that he has raised these issues and these matters since April, leading up to the press conference on that particular Sunday Yamatlomula or Sunday Yamatata for all those who are involved. At the end of the day, this is a starter. But like I said to you, Mbali, I would have allowed the commission to kickstart. One is not prescribing on what the parliament should do, but one is saying it would be easy, once again, from a witness fatigue, expenses involved, in security of those who are involved. We would need to look into those things. And quite a number of many other things that are going to crop up from the woodwork of the parliamentary processes leading on to the judicial commission's legal status, or what they would say locus standi, in establishing the facts as well as creating a platform for fairness and justice.
Andy Mashaile, thank you so much for your time here in SABC News. That's Andy Mashaile there, just giving us his insight in terms of that ad hoc committee process, which will now take place within Parliament.